Hello, welcome to Physical Education 10. My name is Mr. Cameron. I'll be your teacher in this course. I wanted to show you a number of things on my website where you'll be able to find your assignments, where you'll find documents, instructions on how to complete certain things. This is going to be an orientation on how you're going to be able to find everything that you're going to need in order to complete the course. So here's a breakdown of how the course is laid out. So 10% of your final mark will be on fitness testing. You'll be required to do 3 fitness tests, one at the beginning of the course, as soon as you can, the second one halfway through your activity logs, and one after you've completed all of your physical activity logs. Okay, so there's 3 fitness tests, and I'll go over that shortly, how you'll be tested and who determines what testing you'll do. The next portion is the logging physical activity. That's worth 50% of your mark. With logging physical activity, you'll be required to prove to me that you're actually doing what you're saying you're doing. I would like you to create a physical activity blog if you wish. Some people have issues with posting pictures online. That's fine. You'll have to take pictures, develop them, and you'll have to put down the date and amount of time you did each activity when you've completed an activity. So that's one way to get around not doing a physical activity blog, but I strongly encourage you to do it because it's really, really easy to do, and it's a great way of showing your activity. 30% of your class mark is on assignments. So there'll be a number of written assignments, and 10% is on discussion boards. Okay. I'm going back to my website here. To give you an idea, this is the area where I will post information, reminders, due dates, any special information to go to the entire group. Now, you have 10 months to complete this course, so if you're in the fall group, you're going to finish right around the end of the school year in May. If you're in the winter group, you have until September, and so on and so forth. I'll go over that shortly. So that's kind of the layout of the course. So if I send an email out to everybody, this is where you're going to be getting it from. End grade is where I will be housing my marks. So when I mark an assignment, I will give you a mark. I'll send it back to you. I'll also post it in end grade. In the initial email, I also sent you a code to register for your own end grade account. When you register for your own end grade account, what it enables you to do is see exactly where you are and everything like that. If you need instructions on how to set that up, end grade setup is down there. I'm not going to go through it right now. PE 10 assignments, this is where your assignments are located. And if you look over to the right hand side, there's a number of them that says mandatory assignments, choosing activity, community resources, stress, first aid, nutrition, create a physical activity blog. Active living, warm up, cool down, sport, safety. So those are all of your assignments there. Okay. Illuminate. If you ever need to ask me a question, I need to show you something on the computer. If you click on this part right here, I'll click on a link on my side, and we'll both be in a online virtual classroom together. Okay. Ace Fitness, this is a pretty good YouTube channel with lots of ideas for physical activities. Very good. PE 10 IRP, this is the document from the government stating what it is you need to learn in Physical Education 10. So everything that you see on the course that you need to complete is actually from the PE 10 IRP from the Ministry of Education in British Columbia. School liaison teacher, they're teachers at your school that might be able to help you out with some technology if you're having difficulties. If you look here, there's a list of all the different teachers, counselors, days and times they're available. And here's a bunch of things. Orientation of the course, individualized course learning plan. Please complete this and submit it to me as soon as you can. Just going to outline to me if you need any extra help with the course. Course mark breakdown, I talked about that. Submitting work, please email our assignments. If there's going to be a lot of video, a lot of photos taken, so Posterous is a very, very good way of doing that. Again, if you don't want to use, if you don't want to post anything on the internet, you're going to have to figure out another way to do that. Okay, so if it's bringing a hard drive into me, a portable hard drive, and showing me the videos proving that you're actually doing the activity, so be it. But that's kind of what we're looking at. Okay, continuing on from the first orientations video, I talked about submitting work. So yeah, if you want to submit work through the physical activity blog, outstanding. I'm going to have a video on how to set that up shortly. You can use services like Postgres, like Dropbox. I think SkyDrive is one common one for that Hotmail users use. So anyways, there's a few different ways you can submit work. I like the Postgres one just because it seems to be the easiest. You can email and it'll post right straight from an email. But anyways, I'll show you that shortly. Subscriptions. You should have been subscribed to this website. So every time I post a message over here, it should go directly to your email. So all these notices should go directly to your email. Ngrade setup, I already talked about that. Course due dates. So yeah, if you want to set up your Ngrade, those are instructions there. Course due dates. If you're say in the winter session, you started the course in December, January, or February, it gives you an outline of when you should complete all of your assignments. The final due date of the course should be September 30th, but you're more than welcome to complete the course early as you want. So if you were able to start over the Christmas break and you're very active, you do over 100 hours of physical activity in a short amount of time, you shouldn't really have too much problems completing the course all that quickly. Okay, so yeah, so those are the due dates. Like I said, you can complete any of these assignments as quickly as you want to. There is something I need to talk about: activation. Activation is something that the government uses as a term. When you go to a brick and mortar school, such as one of the secondary schools in Coquitlam, Charles Best, Centennial, Terry Fox, whatnot, what happens is the school automatically receives funding from the government to educate you. In online courses, we're a little bit different. We have to do it the other way. We have to prove to the government you're actually in our course. And if we can't prove that you're in our course, then we can't get funding for you. So how we do this is through activation. That's what we call it. So you see all these things right here. These are all the things that we'd like you to have done for activation. More the written assignments. If you get the written assignments done quickly, great. Fitness test as well. Activity log. Get it done if you can, but as soon as you get those things done, it'd be best as quickly as possible. If you don't get active fairly quickly in the course, you'll probably be asked to leave because we'll have to make room for other students that are willing to get active more quickly. Okay, so yeah, that's what that is. So depending on whenever you enter the course, and even in Ngrade, it'll say your last initial first name, and then as you're in another spot, it'll say winter, fall, summer, or spring. That'll indicate what group you're in. Okay. Fitness testing, I'm going to go over that shortly, what that consists of. Activity logs, I'll show you what that consists of shortly. Written assignments can be found here again. Discussion board, discussions, you can click on that for those things. And activity log topics for reflection. These are all on your activity log. They're all linked back to your activity log, but if you have a tough time finding it, they're all there. So that's kind of an overview of the course. You won't need to go to any of their websites. This is going to be the website that you're going to go to for now. On another group, I might switch it to a Blackboard system, but for now, this is what you're going to be using if you're hearing this video. Okay? And I believe that's it. Always feel free to get in touch with me at cocameron@sd43.bc.ca, and I will also be doing a video on verification, a video on fitness testing, a video on activity logs, and that's about it. Okay? All right, the next portion of the orientation has to do with activity verification. Okay, so in order for you to take PE course online, you have to be able to prove that you're actually doing the activity. Now, doing it in a distance fashion is a different way to do the class, but it doesn't mean that there's less outcomes. We still have to have the same outcomes that you would have in a class. So for showing that you're and demonstrating that you've completed the activity needed to complete the course is very, very important, okay? So how we're going to do this is I'm going to show you shortly on the physical activity log, but also on the fitness test. You will be required to be doing filming as well as taking photos of each time you've done an activity. You've completed an activity, okay? Now, the one problem is that it might be difficult to get us because sometimes these files can get fairly large when we're working on computers. So what we can do is there's some services out there that are free that we could use, and I'm going to go through them with you shortly, and they all are protected. It's not like posting them to Facebook or something like that where the whole world is going to see it. What it is Posterous, one I like. You can actually add a password onto your website, so you actually, every time you snap a picture, if you send it by email to your site, you can't access the site without a password. Dropbox is similar, and so is SkyDrive. And I'm just going to go through a few with you right now. And here are the sites for them. So, okay, so this is Posterous. And so this is Posterous. And the reason it's so easy is because all you really have to do to use it is email, okay? So when you sign up, put in your email address, username if you wish, password, click sign up. What you'll do is then it'll get an email back telling you to verify who you are, just like you would another email address or email account. And once you do that, more or less your site is set up. Once you can do that, you can add different names, different names, different titles to different sites that you want to have. Now, I would ask that you don't use your last name. You could use your first name as the title, but do not use your last name. We just don't want to have any identifiers out there of you. Kind of want it to be anonymous. So your last name and maybe some numbers, whatever. That's what I want you to name your account. Okay. So if you do that, that would be great. I'm going to show you shortly how it works. Okay, so this is an old website I made on Posterous. What I'm going to do is I'm going to snap a picture. There's a book on my desk right now. It's called Art in Action. What I did is I took my iPhone and I took a picture of the front cover. It's a yellow book, and all I'm going to do is hit email photo with the web address. So I sent a email. So this website address is called pe10.posterous.com. In order to post a photo, all I did was take that photo and put in pe10 at posterous.com. It recognized that I sent it from my email address, and as a result, that's the password, allowing me to post directly onto the website. There it is. It should be there. I'm going to hit refresh on my screen, and we should see a picture of Art in Action. Oh, look at that. Okay. Next thing I'm going to show is a video. I'm going to take a video. I just took a video shortly. A video of my screen, and I'm going to email that as well. Okay, so I just sent it now. It's a video, and we'll see how long it takes. So the good thing about this is that it'll actually timestamp it. Let's see. So it says here, posted December 12th. So if you were to go for a run someday, took a picture of yourself after you went for your run, as soon as you post it, it's going to give you the date. Okay? So there's lots of really positive things here. With the video, it'll also usually embeds. My phone is an iPhone, so it does it with QuickTime, so sometimes it doesn't. But and the next one's there, so I'm going to hit refresh. So it took about 30 seconds to post it. There's the video I just did. Of my screen. Alright, so that's how Posterous works. Now, just going to go over one Dropbox. More or less how Dropbox works is it's like you have a shared folder. You would download a little small program. Once you download the program, you'd have a folder. You'd have a little Dropbox folder. And what you would do is you would save anything you want to be able to access on any other computer you would put your files in there. So say if you have a video that's kind of large, you could put a you can put a video inside the Dropbox on your computer, and what it'll do is automatically sync to a server. And when it does that, you can actually provide a public folder so that I can access those videos. You would be inviting me to look at them, okay? So yeah, that's kind of how Dropbox works. So, and Windows Live SkyDrive is quite similar to that as well. So it's just instead of emailing, because emailing is very, very big, it's just the raw video. You might run out of space because it doesn't do any of the video. It has the big file. It puts it into a folder, and then it syncs it to a server, and then the person would be able to access it. You would give me a URL or a code or whatnot, and I'd be able to access it with that URL. The reason I like Postgres is because over these two is just because it shrinks your video files, it embeds them for you, it timestamps it when you send it. It's it's very good. Plus you can put a password on it. And the very first thing on the physical activity log, URL Postgres setup instructions. Okay, so you click on that, you can see how it exactly set up. I've just kind of briefly gone over it, but when you get to your activity log, that URL will be right there, and it'll show you a video of how to set that up very, very quickly. Okay, and as you can see, if you don't post a verification or prove that you actually did your activity, you're not going to get credit for it on the activity log. So it's very, very important to snap a picture each time you've done something that you want to get credit for. Okay, and that's about it. So on to the next part of the orientation, which would be fitness testing. Okay, so one of the very first things I want you to start to do and complete within this class has to do with the fitness testing. So we're going to go to that place on the website right now. So it says here fitness testing overview. So you'll go to this part, and it says right here basics of fitness. Please read this article. Okay, and then it's going to go through kind of what you should be doing in order for your testing. You're going to be tested in 5 areas, or you could be tested up to 5 areas. You get to choose this. One of them is aerobic endurance, muscular strength, muscular endurance, flexibility, and body composition. So you can choose to do 4 of the 5 of these things to do testing in. Now you should read all this stuff, but I'm just going to go through it really quickly with you. At the bottom of the page here, you'll see this document to download. And here it is here. So this is what the fitness testing sheet will look like. Okay. So you're going to have 4 tests to do. So you'll name the test here, test 1. The second test will be named there. Third test and fourth test. So this is all done on your very first time. So if you started this class, say November 30th, write down the date here of the first one. So maybe December 3rd, because you want to get this done as soon as you can. Before you log any physical activity, write down the date, write down the name of the test, write down what area it's going to be tested in: muscular strength, muscular endurance, body composition, flexibility, cardiovascular endurance. And then you're going to write down your results, and if you were happy, okay, or sad with them. Okay, so you're going to do this, just work in this column for the first session. All right? And I'm going to show you where to find those tests shortly. Okay, so once you've done that on the first one, for the very first fitness test, what I want you to do is actually, because you get to choose, you're going to name the test, and you're also going to describe what the test is, as well as how is it going to test one of these 5 areas. Okay? So if you're doing, say, a flexed arm hang, that's a muscular endurance test. You would write flexed arm hang test here, muscular endurance, and then you just give the parameters and why it's testing that specific one. Now you'd have to go back to the website in order to get a little bit more information about that. This reading will help you out with that, okay? Okay. After that, after you've written down the 4 tests that you've completed, as well as you've recorded it up on the record sheet, I want you to write a reflection. Were you happy with the results? Are they part of your current training? Are you monitoring progress in this area for a reason? What will you do to improve the results after you completed? How will you incorporate the FIT principle to improve your results on the next test session? And there's a little marking rubric right there. For session 2, again, it's just going to be a reflection along with up here you're going to record your results in session 2. And in session 3, record your results, and down to the bottom it'll say session 3 testing assignment. Write your comments there. Now if you are unsure of what tests you want to perform, I'm going to go back to the website, and just below fitness testing it says fitness testing overview, and it goes through muscular endurance examples, muscular strength examples, all of them. Okay, so I'm going to go through them really quickly. Here's some great examples of muscular endurance examples. Here's the wall sit, flexed arm hang. If you watch the video, it kind of shows you what it looks like. Curl up cadence. Here's the cadence here. If you want to play it, you put it on your iPod or iPhone or whatever you have. Here's some muscular strength examples you could use. Push-ups to a cadence. Here's the cadence here, just to make it consistent. You do power cleans or any other type of power lift that you want to, as long as you know what you're doing. If you've never done a power clean before, please don't do it now. But another one you could do, that anyone could do, is a vertical jump, standing vertical jump. And this video shows the parameters on how to set that up. Here are some aerobic endurance examples, pacer test, as well as the you could do a 12-minute run. I had one student, she had an app on her phone with a GPS. She ran for 12 minutes and she took a screenshot of her phone after the 12 minutes and it showed the distance. So that would be great. You could use these tests as well. Here's some examples for flexibility on this page. And lastly, body composition. If you can kind of tell here, we don't really ask for this one to be done because it's kind of invasive underwater. Yeah, so like I was saying, it's kind of invasive to doing the body composition tests. This one here, they weigh you underwater and they figure out the displacement of the water. So they take some calculations and they figure that out. So that's not really readily available. So it's a really tough test to do that. This other one is fairly invasive as well. As you can see, this lady's landmarking on this fellow's iliac crest, right on his hip. So there's 3 landmarks that are chosen. They're a little bit slightly different for females and males, but on the males, it's on the iliac crest. Another part is just behind the person's tricep as well as behind the hamstring. Okay. So you can see they use this caliper and spring loaded, and they actually pinch you to find out how much body fat. So they use different parts of your body to do that. Probably not something that everybody wants to go through. If you do, we can probably hook you up with something, but it's not really needed. So when we talk about the fitness testing, here's all the different examples. Oh, you only have to choose 4 of them. You can leave one out. So body composition doesn't have to be one of them. But muscular endurance, muscular strength, aerobic endurance, as well as the flexibility tests are all required for the course. Okay, so then you would go back and record all your activity on this sheet. So again, just to repeat myself, you pick 4 different tests, and then you do it. Session 1 would be before you log physical activity. Session 2 would be after your 5th activity log, and session 3 would be after you've completed your last activity log. Because it is all tied together, this is the physical activity log. So right off the very first page of the physical activity log, it says complete fitness test 1 as a reminder. So you go through here, log 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then it says after the 5th one, another reminder, complete fitness test 2. And then right at the end, it says complete fitness test 3, just in case you might forget. So this is all your activity with your fitness testing equals to be about 60% of your course, of your course mark. So if you it's very, very important to do a good job on this, to verify it all. And as for the fitness testing, we still need to verify it. You can come in to Monty Center where I work, or it might be Vanier in the new year, or you could also make an appointment with me or Mr. Quinto, or film it yourself and send the film off to me, and that's going to be I think I already went over that in the validation part of the orientation. So that's it for this one. Okay, this next video is just going to be on the assignments for the course. So if you go to the main page, colpe10.posters.com, click on PE10 assignments. There might be a password on this. If there is, it's physical. Physical is the password. Okay, so you'll see there might have been some recent changes. Just wanted to go through that because we added quite a bit in terms of the verification, photos, film, and all that stuff. And we just want to let you know that we just didn't add on a lot of work. We actually took out a lot of the written portion. There used to be about 18 written assignments in the course, and we reduced it down to, you only have to do 2 here, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so reduced it in half. So that's the trade-off. We've taken out a number of those other things that were required on the old course and the new course. All these things are all the written assignments. It's just not as many because we've incorporated into other parts of the course. Okay, you're still reading the same learning outcomes, just in different ways. Okay. All you do is click on each assignment, and it goes through what you need to do. Typically, there's a short reading that you'll need to do. Physical activity, choosing the one for you, and then here choosing physical activity. So you would download the document and complete the form and send it back to me. All right. Community resources. Okay. Here's the assignment, resources in your community poster project. So I want you to make a poster of something in the community that you might be able to use as well as others. Okay. Stress test. So there's a little reading on stress, and then there's a quiz at the end. And then you go to ngrade.com, register with your username. There are quizzes in there on the left-hand side. Let me show you where that is. Okay, so I don't want to show you my full page on ngrade because it's going to show student names and stuff like that, so I don't want to do that. But if you hover over more, it's going to show you quizzes, turn-ins, discussions. Okay, so if you click on quizzes, it's going to have a list of quizzes over here. I have a list of quizzes, and then if you just click on the quiz, you should be able to take it. It also goes for discussions. So if you click on discussions, there's a number of different discussion items that you're going to have to do to complete the course as well. So if you click on it, name a piece of technology that can use to improve your fitness level, describe how you used it in this piece of technology and why is it important to your training/wellness. Click that, and then you should be able to reply to 2 other people in the class as well. Okay, so all the assignments again are listed right here. You get to choose one, choose a few here, and the discussion items are just where I showed you. All right. All right, and that's about it. If you have any questions and concerns about any of this or anything to do with the PE10 course, please feel free to get in touch with me at cocameron@sd43.bc.ca. That's cocameron@sd43.bc.ca. And I'd be happy to address any concerns that you might have. Thank you very much, and be sure to answer the questions to verify that you're in the course. Okay. Also, please complete the all these assignments as quickly as you can, because once you've done that, you'll be actually you'll be active in the course, which means that we'll get funding for you, and we actually get started on a number of other things. Okay. So please complete these assignments as quickly as possible. Okay. Thanks again. Bye bye.